Coach's Corner segment brought to you by Lori Darlings down in Fayetteville, Alabama. Coach John Limbaugh, the head football coach and athletic director of the Fayetteville Wolves. And Coach, a high-scoring 43-40 win over Billingsley last night. And that hamburger steak tastes good now, don't it?
Absolutely. It was an incredible ball game. It was one of those that, I told Coach last night, as we were shaking hands, I said it's one of those you hate to see anybody lose because it's two ball clubs going as hard as they could against one another, doing all they could against one another. And somebody had to come out and win it, but we're just thankful it was the Fayetteville Wolves.
I guess maybe it's the team that scored last, 43-40.
Yes, it was exactly
defensive. It was a tough night for the defenses.
It was a tough night for defense, but on both sides of the ball. It seems that we never could get the stop we needed on those guys, and they couldn't stop us either. It was just one of those nights, and everything was clicking offensively, so we just went with that.
Well, you're 2-0 with a big win over Childersburg on opening night, and in Childersburg, you had some guys that really stand up, especially going in at halftime. Childersburg had a stop, and they were fired up coming in the second half, but Fayetteville stood strong to win that game as well.
Yes, sir. Our kids really stood up, played hard. Preston Duke came out, gave us a good burst of energy for us, and really did some nice things for us offensively. And defensively, we played a really strong ball game too. Cam Hammonds had like 183 yards rushing that game. Presley had like a 111, and was through for like 190. So we, had a balanced offense. It was about 490 yards of offense. We had 3 touchdowns called back in that game.
Talk about your quarterback and also Hammonds, who seemed like he'd been playing forever down there. He's a great athlete.
Yeah, he's a good one. I love both those guys today. They're actually, what I would consider co-players of the game last night against Billingsley. I can't say enough about Brent Cantrell. He is a hard hitter. It doesn't matter if we got him at quarterback or receiver. He does a marvelous job at both positions. Can't say enough about him last night. 3 touchdowns, 2 receiving, one rushing touchdown. And he just throws the ball so well, runs the ball so well, catches the ball so good. Wish they had a dozen more like him.
What does that mean for a team to have a player of that caliber that can play multiple positions?
No, it's everything. For a 1A school, we have to play multiple positions anyway. When you got somebody of his caliber doing it, it's just going to help you out. Because he doesn't seem to, I know he gets tired, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't seem that he does. And then you got, Cam Hammonds backing him up. And so many of our other players stepping up, doing great things. Last night I could rattle off a dozen different players that did good for us last night. But Cam, he's just a constant threat. Anytime that he has the ball in his hands, you never know. He might take you to the end zone, get you that first down. You just never know. He might get 2 yards, 3 yards, but all of a sudden, boom, he's going to break.
Now, he doesn't mind lowering his head and making contact either.
He doesn't mind at all. He likes contact. He likes contact. And, Presley really stepped up last night again, rushing touchdown, throwing the ball well for us, and it was really nice to see that happen. And others, Aiden Blair getting his blocks in there and making tackles on defense. He's doing a great job at linebacker, making those tackles. Other guys, beginning to step up. And Braden Deloach, another one, he's beginning to step up. Played a lot more a lot more defense last night than offense. We got to get him more involved on that offensive side, but it's coming around.
Well, lay it out for us. Fayetteville 2-0 with a 43-40 win over Billingsley last night in a high-scoring game. It was a home opener down at Farm Links Field.
Jimmy, stands full. Stands were full. People lining the fence, watching, And the thing about it is our student section was absolutely just fantastic. They were so energized, they were into it, and it helps our kids to know that you got school behind them. They all, student section came out on the field last night after the game to congratulate our players. It was a lot of fun. And that's what high school football ought to be. It's a lot of fun.
It's different, isn't it, Coach?
It's different. It's so much different, and I'm just so excited to be a part of it.
Yeah, 43 points is a lot of points. Kind of talk about the offensive surge last night.
Well, they were doing a really good job up front. I have to give a little edge to the line of scrimmage, the movement there to Billingsley. I think they did a little bit better job than us last night, and it caused a lot of problems for us. But we found a couple places that we could kind of rub there, and we just rubbed it raw there in a couple places and kept running the ball, hitting that spot. And before long, we started making an impact on them. And we threw some good balls too, but it seems like when we had the ball in our hands, we were threatened to score, and we did. We scored with 10 seconds left in the ball game last night. So I was holding my breath those last 10 seconds, but we knocked a couple passes. Well, they got one throw. I think it hit the ground, but anyway, they got one throw in there.
Well, talk about the scoring drive that puts you in the lead with just a handful of seconds left.
Yeah, well, we were looking at some things we thought would work, and we were able to move the ball down there on the ground, move the ball down there, and we got down there, and we saw they were leaving some things open for the passing game, and we knew if we could get enough of blocking here, and sure enough, we sprang, bring Cottrell loose, and the Presley Duke hit him, and it caught the ball, and great things for Fayetteville. Absolutely.
Yeah, 43-40 win over the Billingsley Bears. Fayetteville 2-0 on the season. And I can just imagine how the fans were so excited, not just through the game, but after the game as well. That'll be the talk of the town at school and the coffee shops today for sure.
No, absolutely. I mean, but all the credit to our kids and our fans for their support. But like I said, we had, the place was busting at the seams last night. That's what it's all about. Can't say enough about our fans and all that, when you play a high school football game, it is a production, Jimmy. It takes everybody being involved, from the people that support us like Lori Darlings to our administration, making sure everything's in place and everything working properly, and to our faculty and those taking up tickets, everything, every aspect of it. It takes everybody to make it happen, and we got the best people in the world right there in Fayetteville to make it happen.
Fayetteville has a weapon that a lot of schools don't have, and that's your kicker, who's been with you for several years now.
Well, I grabbed Nick by the shoulder last night with the score at 43-40. I said, see that score up there? I said, that's what you were able to accomplish for us. And, he went there and, got the kick for us, and I think it was about a 30-yarder, 35-yarder, something like that. I'd have to go back and look at it on film. But the thing about it, when we weren't able to move the ball at that point, it was just like that, to get Nick in the game. There's no question about it. He can do it. He's a very big plus for us. When a coach has an asset like that, it helps you sleep a little bit better at night.
And it, it gives you confidence to know that if you got a 4th and 3 or 4th and 5 and you're within striking distance, you got a guy that can kick it through.
Yeah, well, it's an amazing thing. I saw some things on film, and I thought they looked a little lackadaisical a little bit on the defensive front on when we were, other teams kicking the ball and things like that. So I said, we're gonna take advantage of that guy. So I decided, in my brilliance, I was gonna, run a fake extra point and get a 2-point conversion on that, and they stopped that thing like that. And I said, and why do that when you got somebody like Nick that's gonna get those points for you? Take what's going to be given to you, and don't try to do a little too much.
Yeah, the old automatic, I guess.
Just take the automatic.
We always talk about a particular player who may not be a superstar, but somebody that brings pluses to your team. Who would that be today?
Well, thinking about the Childersburg game and what happened there, and thinking about the game, last night, I think Jack Knowles. He's playing really good on the defensive side of the ball, on the D-line. He just does a great job. But on the offensive side, he is really getting after it. He's taking his blocking very seriously. He's getting after it. And to me, Jack really is the one that's kind of standing out right now. He got some playing time last year, but not as much as he would have wanted or much as we would want him to have. But he made that jump. That light switch has been flipped. And he is really a good football player for us, and we just need him to keep doing what he's doing.
And that Knowles family, that name rings a bell to a lot of people too, doesn't it?
Well, his dad pastors the Cowboy Church, and they're doing a great job in community and for a lot of people and doing God's work. And it's just gratifying to see a young man that's such a great guy have success on the football field.
You talked about everybody playing a role, and you mentioned Lori Darlings, which sponsors this segment, and Lori loves the Fayetteville School, and loves to support it for sure.
Well, I love her and all that she does for us. She does so much, be it from our cheerleaders to any sport we have, any, whatever is there, she wants to support it. And I'm just so thankful to have her in our community.
All right, well, 2-0 for the Wolves, and on the road next week. We'll talk about that next
Yes,
Friday.
sir.
Let's enjoy these 2 wins. And, Coach, appreciate you coming by, and good luck the rest of the season. We'll see you next week.
Absolutely. Thank you, Jimmy. Go Wolves.
All right, Coach John Limbaugh, the Fayetteville Wolves, our guest, brought to you by Lori Darlings in downtown Fayetteville, Alabama. More Daybreak just ahead.